Hello guys, welcome back. Konnichiwa. Herzlich willkommen. So my friends, I give you now an update here on the market, the S&P 500. We use this stock index ticker here to see what the market is doing, and if we see now here a market short squeeze or a big correction or even a market crash, I can show you here my chart analysis and also show you that I very predicted and expected this move here, and I also will show you the prediction for the next move, which may coming up now here in May or June 2025, guys. This is of course not financial advice, but I'm very focused on stocks, guys. I'm not a YouTuber, I'm a trader which just share his knowledge on YouTube. That's a huge difference. So a lot of people say that it is not possible to predict what the market is doing. Yes, guys, of course, nobody can see the future. Not everything is predictable, but a lot of things in trading are predictable. And I will share my knowledge here with you in this video and show you where it's worth it to buy or sell stocks which are trading in the S&P 500 or in the overall stock market. Okay, guys. Yeah, my mission here is of course to share my knowledge, to educate you in trading. And before we dive in here into the chart techniques for the S&P 500, I can also show you what I do usually here. I have my Patreon community available, where I present my so-called short squeeze stocks, guys. I focus on short squeeze stocks because I like to trade high volatile stocks, and what I'm doing there is I try to predict those short squeezes. So when I publish here a post or video on Patreon, then I always mention where I expect the price to go before we see a squeeze, and of course also mention all the price levels. This is just here now a big quick snapshot or screenshot, and you can see I posted this ticker here on that day, 14th of May, and 2 days later, guys, 2 days later, we had here a 105% squeeze. I posted the video here. My members had enough time to decide if they want to buy the stock or not. We tanked down exactly here in this liquidity zone which I mentioned and squeezed then 105%, guys. This is just a normal example what we have almost every week. One bigger squeeze, guys, we had this last week. This was also one of the tickers which we traded here over and over again in the community. I'm talking about this stock since February 2025. Same here, guys. We have this blue algo demand zone and this ticker squeezed in between here 100%, but now we had here a 1,394% short squeeze, and this ticker continued to squeeze, and we had a 2,500% squeeze in total. So yeah, it is possible to know what happens next. There is never a guarantee, guys. Don't get me wrong. Not every stock is always doing exactly what I predict, but of course the chance is very high. So if you want to see also these short squeeze plays, you can join us here on Patreon. We're growing every day, guys. We have a very big community already here. The full package membership is where you get all the access to my short squeeze stocks, swing trade alerts, and so on. And also here to my trading tutorial videos, member FAQ section. So it doesn't matter if you are a beginner or advanced trader. I have a lot of content here available which helps you to become better in trading. The link patreon.com/blackbelttrader is of course also available here in the video description. So guys, was this shakeout here predictable? We had here one market shakeout in April 8 or 7-8 of April. The market bottom was in. Since then, the S&P 500 recovered here by 23% with huge gap ups. You can almost compare it with any stock in the US market, guys. It doesn't matter if this stock is in the S&P 500 or not. Almost every stock had its temporary market bottom in at the 7th or 8th of April and is squeezing or recovering since. Was that predictable, guys? You can see all my previous videos here. The chart which I'm showing you right now is not faked, it's not changed, guys. It's always the same chart. We start with the indicators first. I mentioned that we have here a couple of open gaps in the chart, and especially when we switch here to the weekly chart, it is very obviously that the S&P 500 is closing gaps in the weekly chart, and we had here one significant gap at 4,000. I zoom in for you guys, the orange line here. I mentioned that before, that the S&P 500, please watch my previous videos, guys, is always closing these gaps in the weekly chart. It's very simple, always, guys. You can zoom out here 10-15 years ago, we always close these gaps. So it was very predictable that we come down sooner or later to back to $4,844. That is exactly what happened, and as soon as we closed this gap, we recovered from this. And not only this, guys, I also have here a trend channel pattern. This is also unchanged. Yeah, this is always the same pattern, and as you can see, I said in my previous videos that when we see a correction, we will come down and touch this trend channel pattern here, the bottom line again. We have a very strong support for the S&P 500 here between 4,823 and 4,375 US dollar. We didn't hit it yet, but very close to it. The open gap was the algo trigger here for the market shakeout, and you can see we touched not only the open gap and closed it, we also touched perfectly here my trend line bottom, as here guys, as here, as here. That's why I say if you understand how the market algos work, then you also know where to buy and where to sell. And I'm talking about a couple of months about the next price goals for the S&P 500. As I said, guys, I repeat myself, sorry, but please review just my previous videos if you don't believe me. I think that we will see here a market top incoming around 6,443 US dollar, and I already predicted that months ago. This price goal is and has been always in my chart, and I said I expected in April, May 2025. I might be wrong, guys, it might become June or July, but as soon as we squeeze out of this trend channel pattern here again, which is happening right now with a gap up, guys, yeah, we have again a gap in the weekly chart, so please don't FOMO in. Sooner or later the S&P 500 will come back down to at least $5,700. For now we have a super strong bullish setup here, a breakout, and that's why I think we will come higher here in this range and then end up somewhere here between 6,440 and 6,500 US dollar, guys, and that might be the beginning of the market reversal, aka market crash. I mentioned that before, this was not a market crash. Everybody talked about Trump and every news guys telling you reasons why that happens, why we had to crash because of Trump, blah blah blah. Guys, I'm really tired of this, you know, things to hear those things, because you just need to read the chart and you know what happened or what will probably happen next, because that was very predictable that we retest here this trend line channel bottom and of course close this open gap here in the weekly chart. So mark my words, sooner or later, no matter how high we squeeze, sooner or later, as soon as the peak is in, we will come down at $5,720 and lower, guys. Yeah, so very, very predictable. As I said, you can compare this price action here with a lot of stocks in the market. So the good news are that I think we will see a lot of short squeezes right now. I mean, we always have these short squeezes, yeah, so don't forget that when I present these short squeeze stocks on Patreon, they always squeeze. It doesn't matter if the market is bullish or bearish, so I always select stocks with high squeeze potential. Keep that in mind, guys. So if you are stuck in some trades, yeah, check that out here on Patreon. But for the S&P 500, I expect now that we see here a squeeze rally in May and June 2025, and then same, guys, which we had here in 2021. It is almost a one-by-one copy right now. The red trend channel which we have here is a super strong resistance, and you can see the last time when we traded in this resistance channel here, it lasted until January 2022, and then finally after touching this trend channel top line here, the super bearish resistance, the bear market kicked in, and we had a one year of correction here before we started the next bull run, guys, and that can probably happen. So that does not mean that as soon as we touch $6,444 that we start to drop down, but I think that will be the beginning here where the market makers take their profits, the bullish market makers take their profits and start to go short and turn bearish. This is exactly here what I see in the chart and what I expect. So mark my words, guys, please review this video here a couple of months later after I release that, and of course I will keep you updated here on the channel, guys. What you see here, the chart tool is called TradingView. This is what I use here for all my videos and all my trades. So if you want to learn trading, guys, I highly recommend to get yourself a good chart tool. As you can see, a lot of things are predictable here, and if you get TradingView, you can of course copy here my drawings. I have a discount link available here for the premium tier. This is also what I'm using here in this video. So if you want to get TradingView today, guys, please go in the video description and there is my discount link for this program. If you don't want to miss any updates, please hit the like and subscribe button right now, guys. I hope that video was helpful. I wish you a great weekend. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you in the next one. Arigatou gozaimasu, vielen Dank, alles Gute und bis zum nächsten Video. Take care. Bye bye, guys.